me at recession fears fade. Let's get to that one right away.
That's right. And I think we really saw that on maybe Thursday when we got retail sales numbers for the month of July. They were just better than expected. There was some anticipation that sales may have declined a little bit, but they actually came in increasing 1% month over month. That's a pretty big jump. Just for some perspective, year over year, which is sometimes a little bit easier to relate to in our minds, retail sales are up about 3.4%. Historically, that should be something closer to maybe 5 to 6%. So retail sales, they're not the greatest, but they're not horrible. And the market really liked that.
Are we still doing YOLO? Are we still spending maybe money that we shouldn't? Because I saw that, credit card balances are way up. Was there any category in retail that was maybe the tentpole that pushed it up?
Yeah, there were two, I think. Actually, one was with auto sales, and a lot of that comes from the decline in sales that we had in the month of June. There was a cyber attack against a company that is responsible for all the databases for a lot of dealers. So that resulted in a reduction in sales of autos in the month of June. So we were expecting a bounce back, but it was a slightly bigger bounce back than what a lot of people were penciling in. Some of that is driven by discounting that's actually taking place. A lot of auto dealers are beginning to offer more incentives to get people to purchase vehicles because we know how high interest rates are, how high those costs of new cars and used cars are. So we've actually seen a bit of decline in those prices. So auto sales bouncing back in July was a big driver. There's another one with building materials and garden supply stores. That category increased about 0.9% for the month, which is a fairly large jump. Some of that might be because we did have Hurricane Beryl. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I think you are. Yeah.
But Beryl was barreling down on Texas in the early part of July. And so retail sales is for the full month. So maybe part of the increase that we saw was because people were beginning to clean up and kind of recover from the devastation that hurricane brought in. So there were those two things that really drove retail sales higher. When I was looking at, let's say, that whole YOLO thing that you were referring to, you only live once, I really look at the food establishments and drinking places category. That's oftentimes very discretionary as far as what people are spending their money on. And that only increased 0.3% for the month, which is a marked move lower from what we were averaging last year. Last year, that category in some months, it was up like 0.6%, 0.7% as people were still, spending money hand over fist, trying to make up for lost experiences. But now that category, that growth rate has really moderated.
Is Walmart a bellwether, and what did we see from them?
Yeah, Walmart was really interesting. They kind of hit it out of the park in terms of their earnings and also with the guidance that they were giving. So the guidance just refers to what do they expect to happen for the rest of this year. Not every company gives guidance. They don't necessarily want to talk about the future to get people's expectations too high, right? Because what happens if you miss? But some companies do like to talk about it. They feel like they are well positioned for the environment that we're in, which I read that as meaning that they being almost, what is their motto about the everyday low prices? Mm-hmm. That's not necessarily the greatest thing for consumers. If everybody is searching for those bargains, you're seeing higher net worth individuals, quote unquote, trading down to do shopping at Walmart instead of, Target, as far as people used to have that perception of Target being slightly higher income individuals going there. That's changing over time. But if Walmart is offering the discounts, really cutting the prices of a lot of items, they announced they're cutting the prices of 7,000 items on their shelves. People are spending money. Walmart seems to be a beneficiary of the frugalness that has hit America.
And they're still a big deal with groceries.
They are. Right. Yeah, the grocery category has been a big driver of growth for them over the years, although it does seem like more of the growth now in sales is coming from people moving from shopping at other places where maybe the prices are a little higher, not as many discounts, to actually shopping at Walmart instead.
And in our final 45 seconds, those of you that are putting off your remodels, Home Depot has noticed.
That's right. Yeah, they came out complaining about that. They've had sequential declines in sales, and they pointed out that people do seem to be sitting on their hands, waiting for interest rates to come down, maybe putting off some of those bigger projects, and so it's having that effect on their sales.